Hello, it's Lolo, guys. Coach Lolo here to help give you guys some great information. At the end of the day, I know that's why a lot of you might follow me. And what is that? Okay. Might follow me for that reason. And some of you might follow me because of, um, you know, I used to do dance. Well, I still do dance and my fitness journey, my fitness videos and things like that. So if you are tuned in for that reason, great. But I think that even beyond those things, I think you'll get a lot out of what we're going to talk about today. Feel free to answer, ask questions. I'll pop them up here on the screen as you ask. And that way other people can, maybe they have the same question and are afraid to ask. But at the end of the day, all I want to do is try to provide you guys some type of value, some valuable information. I've been doing tons and tons of research. It really never ends. It's perpetual. And it's something that I think is very important in my line of work, is that we never get to a place to where we know everything, but we're always trying to practice and figure out and determine what we can do to help our clients, what we can do to really shine a light on what we don't know, right? Because that is what keeps us in a place where we are, is not knowing what we don't know. And that's what is going to lead me to talk about inflammation today. Um, and I will say that, hi guys, hello. Yes, all right. Good to see you guys. Hi Candace, hi Veronica. And it's crazy because you're both of you are who I have in mind when I talk about my ideal client. It's people just like you guys. Okay, I know what you guys deal with, the inflammation and things like that. I completely get it on another level because, believe it or not, um, the whole mystery behind the inflammation and really all of the conditions that a majority of Americans, as well as others, but let's just talk Americans since I'm in America, deal with because of the standard American diet. Acronym SAD, SAD, right? Standard American diet does not provide us enough information and enough nutrition to be able to heal our bodies from the inside out. And what is that? My alarm was just going off. Okay, pay no attention to the man behind the camera. Anyway, so that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. Inflammation is basically largely linked to chronic diseases, autoimmune disorders, muscular skeletal, however you say that, musculoskeletal pain, and even mental health illnesses. Believe that or not, and I have had my fair share of bouts of inflammation. Having diabetes it's essentially inflammation. If you have any amount of unnecessary fat on your body, meaning your BMI is over 30, that's an inflammation issue. Okay. Nothing's wrong with you per se, but you don't know what you don't know. And so that's why I'm talking about this today. Um, but when it comes to inflammation, it can start in your gut. And I don't know that a number of physicians today really drive home that point heavy enough so that you'll do something about it and you'll figure out what it is that's in your gut that's maybe imbalanced or unhealthy. And, taking medications such as antibiotics, think about that. Antibiotics. I talk now a lot about microbiome. And if you don't know what microbiome, those are the little bacterial communities. Microbiota is the bacterial community that lives within your gut. And you have good bacteria, you have bad bacteria. Balance, right? You have to have balance, good and bad. Well, the more you feed the bad bacteria, it begins to break your body down and deteriorate it, okay? Exacerbating inflammation, promoting inflammation. And then before you know it, your joints and your cells are impacted by that inflammation. And it just becomes a toxic environment. Okay. And unless you get that under control, you're never going to have any relief. You won't. Okay. But antibiotics actually kill the good gut bacteria. The problem with antibiotics is that, whenever we get sick, we find ourselves in a position where we're ill. Maybe you have a sinus infection or something like that. Basically, when you go to the doctor, they're going to throw an antibiotic out at you to try to kill it. But this is the problem with the antibiotic. It's not a targeted antibiotic. It's an all-inclusive antibiotic. So once you start taking that, you're going to eliminate a majority of the bacteria, even some of the good bacteria, most of the good bacteria, which you need. You need just to function. You need to fight off and ward off infection. It's the heart of your immune system, okay? Your gut. So that's probably the most important thing that I want you to take away from this is figuring out what's going on in your gut, okay? But antibiotics are notorious for disrupting gut health and the gut bacteria. And it's not the only thing. So if you take any type of medication, it does kind of inhibit health properties within your stomach. Okay. But once your body begins to be inflamed, it attacks all the joints and causes all of that inflammation that you might have. So you might not be able to move the way that you used to. You wake up sore. Maybe your hands are, they feel tight because of the joints, right? You have that tightness in the joints, and it's because they're inflamed, obviously. But here's the thing. It's about healing the gut, okay? Colonizing good gut bacteria with probiotics. So you might have heard about probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics. All of those are to nurture the community that lives within your gut microbiota, so that it becomes a powerhouse, so that it allows for your body to process food the way that it's supposed to and be able to facilitate the direction in which your food and nutrients go. One of the most common conditions, or maybe they call them a syndrome because it's not classified as an actual disease at this point, is leaky gut. A majority of Americans do have leaky gut. I did. Okay, until I figured out what I didn't know. And I still have some more. And I'm going to tell you guys about what it is that I'm doing to take it to that next level for myself. But when it really comes down to it, everyone, I think, is prone to leaky gut syndrome. And what leaky gut syndrome is, it's actually a hole, or you could say just a vulnerable part of your stomach that is supposed to be sealed off. But now it's become so vulnerable that when you eat your food, it actually leaks through, okay, the gut. And when it leaks through, it's leaking into, instead of going through the natural process where it goes through all of your systems and gets excreted, it actually goes through that hole and leaks into your bloodstream. Once it leaks into your bloodstream, it becomes toxic. Okay. So those toxins are supposed to be filtered out by the liver. They don't make it that far. Okay. So they are leaking into your bloodstream. That is kind of the whole catalyst for a lot of the problems that you might be experiencing, that I have experienced: gas, bloating, inflammation, all of the things. Okay. And in order for your stomach or your gut to operate at its fullest, you have to figure out what it is that's actually triggering that. But at the same time, there are a few things, and I'll recommend a few things that you can do today to start getting yourself back to where you need to be. I talked to you about probiotics. I'll talk about those just a little bit later as well. But what I'm doing is I have a venture now with well, I should say it's an affiliate, blah, blah, blah. Affiliate. I'm so excited about this topic that I'm just all over the place. But an affiliate relationship with Biohm, Biohm. Okay. And they actually have a gut health test, okay, that you can purchase. And nowadays it's far more affordable. About a year ago or so, it was not very affordable for anyone to have this test done, but they now have this test. And what it is a gut report kit. Okay. Once you get it, you're able to actually take a stool sample. I know it sounds gross, but it is what it is. Take a stool sample and send it. And they provide you with a comprehensive testing kit. Okay. And this is going to allow for you to test what's going on in the gut, because that's the only way that you can really, other than invasive procedures, actually test it for yourself. And they use DNA sequencing technology that enables you to be able to get an accurate measurement of your gut health and figure out what your bacteria in your gut are even doing. Okay, are they healthy? Are they unhealthy? But each kit is, I would say, around about $150. So it's not terribly expensive when you think about how much you probably are spending on alternative solutions. But it is scientifically verified, and it's been studied at the NIH level, which is the National Institute of Health. And they have studies that when you go onto their site, they have studies where you can actually read up on what they have found. Now, here's something that's so cool. One of the studies that I read, maybe not on this site, but in another site, one of the studies that I read spoke about testing in rats. You know that's a majority of the testing and clinical trials are done on rats before they are done on humans, just for predictability. But they tested these lab rats. Okay, they had one lab rat that had a healthy gut microbiome, no issues. Right, this rat is at its healthy weight, no health issues, nothing. But then they took another one, obviously, who had poor gut health, had inflammation in the body, was pretty overweight, yada yada. You know the story. Well, they actually do what's called a fecal matter transplant, FMT, and they took some of the fecal matter. Now, I'm not telling you this is what you're going to do, but they took some fecal matter from the healthy, and I believe they've done it in reverse, but stay with me. They've taken it from the healthy rat, placed it in the unhealthy rat. And after a few months, this unhealthy rat began to take on the healthy characteristics, or the healthy gut characteristics from that transplant of the healthy rat. And sure enough, from that, this originally unhealthy rat began to increase its health, and the gut bacteria began to normalize. And there you go. So why am I telling you that? Is because it's more than just what I'm saying. Okay, do your research. Go out and check this stuff out. This is real deal information. This is proven scientific fact that your gut health is at the core. It's literally at the core of every inflammatory condition, experience that that you might have right now. Okay, so let me see if there are any questions. Insurance may cover it. You'll have to check with your insurance provider. Okay. Let's see. So should I take probiotics? It is recommended that anyone with really all of us, I take a probiotic. You should be taking that every day and consistently every day, not intermittently, but yes, absolutely. And you said Does insurance cover it? So yeah, so to answer that question, they can. Um, and it's not a very expensive test, but you could also maybe check with your flexible spending account if you have one of those, where you actually put money aside every single year, to have those extra, types of medical costs that aren't generally covered. But yeah, you can check. It really just depends. But to me, it's affordable enough for you to be able to um, pay for it. They send you the kit. You basically take a used swab after you use the restroom. I won't go into all of those details. You know what it is, and you actually take this swab and you put it into the little vial and you send it off to get tested. Now, what happens after that is they send the results back to you. Now, it does take a little while. It can be anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. So, yes, anxiety would be super high just trying to get it to find out. But this report is going to give you information that you can take to your doctor to decompose and to translate for you to let you know what you need to do in order to correct your gut health. Now, you could find that you have a completely healthy gut, but chances are, if you're dealing with any forms of inflammation whatsoever, you do not have a healthy gut, period. Okay, I'm going to just put it down like that. But it's going to expose the health of, there's certain types of bacteria, Firmicutes, and no, I can't remember right now. I can't remember right now the actual names of all of the different bacterias, but I know Firmicutes is one. But basically, if one is higher or the other is lower, then that's going to really inform the decision that you need to make going forward to figure out what you don't know and what foods you should be gravitating towards and eating versus others. Now, I'll tell you this, you can start today by increasing the diversity of the foods that you eat, the colors of all, and I'm talking whole foods. I'm not talking about no crap. I'm not talking about canned, boxed, bagged, processed food. I'm talking about whole foods that are one ingredient foods, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, legumes, all of those things, lentils, and fiber filled foods. A majority of the foods that we typically eat or we crave are nutrient deficient, and they don't even include fiber. Fiber is hugely important, huge. That is what allows for your body to go through the process of digestion in the first place. Okay, it's really just facilitating that process. So without that fiber, you really do yourself a disservice in anything that you eat. But if you're eating whole fruits and vegetables, you're getting that fiber just because you're eating those things. And it's very difficult not to get that, okay, unless you have some condition that actually blocks fiber, which I'm not sure what that would be. Okay. But that is the very first thing that I would recommend is to get tested. Find out what it is that you don't know about your body and allow your body's data to inform your decision forward. Get a test. Okay. We're willing to do so many other things. We don't really want to invest in ourselves because we're like, oh, that's too much money. But guess what? Is it? Is it really too much? It's your health. It's your life. If it's something that could really change the quality of your life, why would you not want to spend money on it? People spend money on handbags and hair and makeup and all kind of crap. But when it comes to our health, it's too expensive. No, I don't believe that by any means. It's just about your priorities. We have to make a decision and go with that. To me, my quality of life is worth more than anything that I could just put on my body or a car I can drive, or seriously, my health is worth so much more than that. And I hope it is for you too. Let's see. Answer some questions here. Thank y'all so much for participating and being engaged. So my inflammation, to my understanding, is from my autoimmune disease. So does that play a different work against my disease? It's all correlated. Inflammation is all of these things. It is linked to PCOS. It is linked to diabetes. It is linked to autoimmune disease, Lyme disease, all of these things. Your gut health is what is in control of all of these things. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Just do some additional research and you'll find out that what I'm telling you is not false. Okay, the research shows it. The literature that I was trained to go back to, all of that is in there. Now, some of it is not as concrete as what I'm telling you. I'm putting all these things together myself, and I'm like, here we go. This is the mother lode. And that one first thing is just think about how many times in your life that you have taken an antibiotic. So yeah, I'm going back to that. The antibiotic it basically kills a majority of the bacteria that we need to remain healthy, to support our immune system. So it kills that. There's no way to just get that back. So just think about your pathology and think about how you got to where you are right now and just start to kind of like trickle down like, oh, okay, I can see where, this happened. I used to myself I used to myself gravitate every time I would get sick. I had a throat issue or just a nasal issue or something like that. I'd be like, okay, I need an antibiotic because I'm not trying to get sick. No one ever told me, nor did a doctor tell me, that I was actually doing myself a disservice on my health by taking antibiotics when I could just literally wait out the process and allow for that illness to take its course. Okay. Now, in some cases, maybe doctors give you a more targeted antibiotic, but they give you a more generalized. Like if you just go to, what do you call it? Uh, Not the emergency room, but like emergency clinic, like I can't remember the name, but when you go to the little fast clinics, that's typically what they're going to do. Why? Because it's easy for them. They're like, oh, we'll just give them this antibiotic and it'll kill just about everything. So, they'll be good. No, no, we got to stop doing that. And that's why I'm creating awareness right now around the topic, because that is what's keeping us sick. That right there is the number one killer, antibiotics. Okay. Improving your gut health is huge. Another thing that you can do is I've led some of my clients through a bone broth fast. If you don't do bone broth, you can do a vegetable broth, but you really get huge benefits from bone broth fasting, even just a few days at a time, 1 day at a time, 2 days at a time. Either way, it's going to give your gut some time to just heal itself. But when we're constantly putting food in it, we're causing it to work, right? And so allowing your body some time to just rest does actually invigorate the gut bacteria. Adding or including the bone broth, you're also going to get a healing from that with the accumulation of collagen that's included in the bone broth. Now, again, you don't get that same benefit from vegetable broth, although you still get a lot of nutrients from the bone broth itself, or the broth, the veggie broth as well. So that's one thing that you can do just to get you started, to get you there. But what you do afterwards is huge. Let's talk about sugar. Okay, let's be real. Sugar is going to kill us if we allow it. And you might say, oh, I don't have a sweet tooth. Listen. There is so much hidden sugar in food today that there is no possible way, unless you are looking for it. There's over 75 names for sugar. And if you're not aware, you're probably consuming it. Trust me on that one. Okay? I'm guilty of it. My family is guilty of it. When you don't know what you don't know, you just fall for the okie doke, right? But we don't want to do that. We don't want to continue to do that, because guess what? It's killing us. It's exacerbating our conditions. It's making us feel sick. We don't feel well enough to even move. We can't get out of bed. We have migraines. Okay. Sugar, sugar, added sugar. I don't care if the box, bag, whatever it says, no added sugar. If you turn that bag over and you actually look at the ingredients, see what's actually included in that food, you will change your mind very quickly. Like, okay, I don't even know what this is. If you can't spell it, if you can't spell it, and you don't even know what that is, if you can't sound it out, chances are it's something that does not belong in your body. Going back to whole, natural, from the earth grown food. Even if you were to, after a fast, start eating more raw fruits and vegetables in their original state, okay, unadulterated. That's what's going to ignite your nutrient density in your body, and your body will begin to repair itself and respond. Okay. But a majority of us don't know enough about the topic to be able to do that. We just keep eating the way that we do. I say it all the time. Hippocrates said, let your medicine be your food and your food be your medicine. You don't need actual medicine. You don't need big pharma telling you you need to take this, that, and the other, which has a number of adverse contraindications, contraindications and, side effects. Who wants that in their body? Who wants foreign chemicals in their body? Big pharma will kill us and take us out if we allow it, right? So let me see some other questions here if you guys have them. Yes, urgent care. Thank you, babe, because I was like drawing a blank. I was like, what is it called? It's like emergency. What other questions do y'all have right now? Because it's 1:00, so I've been doing this for a little over or a little less than, because I started a little late, a little less than 30 minutes. What other questions do you have? If you don't have any, I'm just going to keep going. After this broadcast, I will go ahead and post a link for Biome, so that you could take a look at what it is they offer. They offer a number of other products. I'm not here to solicit any of that. I want you to really think about getting your gut health tested so that you can find out what it is that you don't know currently. Okay. Another thing that I would like you guys to do is to start thinking differently about the foods that you eat. Yes, vegetables and fruits, obviously, but you can also, if you're not, if you haven't gone like vegan or anything like that, kefir, I think that's how you pronounce it, kefir, is like a yogurt, probiotic properties. You can get some of that. I'm a huge fan of tempeh. And those are like fermented soybeans. All of the fermented foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, all of those things really contribute to gut health. So if you think about, your current diet and what it is that you typically eat, those are easy to just integrate into whatever it is that you're eating. Right? Because I get it. No one's going to, a majority of people, the general population is not just going to mix everything that they've been doing and go straight fruits and vegetables. And they're not going to go straight raw, right? We want to actually enjoy our food. So I recommend slow integration, slowly integrating those foods into your diet. Okay. That way, it becomes something that's long term, and it's a lifelong thing that you do, not something that you do as a part of a temporary diet. See, diets can be temporary, and that's not what you want. It's going to put you right back to square one once you get off. So it's not something that you want to think short term. Think long term. How can I allow for this to be a part of my life? And how can I allow for this to be something that is simple? You want to keep it simple, right? Keep all of these things simple, and that way you're more apt to continue them along this journey. Okay. But your health is in your hands. It's up to you. What are you willing to do? And whatever you're not willing to do, try to figure out something in the middle. Okay, you might not be able to jump in the water into the ocean, but at least get into the wading pool. Get into the wading pool. Okay, little by little, incremental contributions there. Yes, success stories. Absolutely. Well, number one, I'm a success story, but because I've done all of these things that I'm telling you, with the exception of, because it was a recent uh, acquisition, I guess you could say, where I came across Biome and became affiliated with them. So now I have ordered my test and I can't wait to get it so I can send it back and get my results. And I'll be sharing my results here live with you once I do get those. And again, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks. But outside of that, as far as the test itself, I don't have, because again, it's a new affiliation that I have. So I don't have any specific to the test, but I did integrate um, the gut health test as a part of my program, my 12-week program. Now I do have actually I have a few clients right now who I have recommended on the side of just food, right? Just integrating more gut healthy foods, like I mentioned to you, kefir, tempeh, things like that, and going a little more raw, like getting in raw vegetables every single day. And on my on my program, I call it a big ass salad. They have every single day they have to have a big ass salad. Now that big ass salad may include all of the vegetables that you typically like, but they're the most colorful. And the more colorful they are, the more phytonutrients, the more phytochemicals are included in those foods that will contribute to that gut health. Okay. Another thing that I recommend, again, I will post links for these things, is a postbiotic. I call it a postbiotic because it really does contribute to what probiotics and prebiotics do. It actually just takes it to that next level. And it's called butyrate. Butyrate is a short chain fatty acid that helps to balance the good bacteria in your gut. That's another way that you can start to heal your gut. Okay. Every client that I have recommended that, because again, and just for everyone, I'm not a doctor. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm a certified nutritionist. But I recommend that you talk to your doctor about butyrate if it's something that you might want to consider. It will help you to feel so much better. It'll calm your gut. But all of the clients that I have asked to take this, or at least to look into it, have decided to take it and have extremely, like just completely different experiences today. No bloating. Okay. Elimination is easy peasy. They have no issues in their gut. They're not disrupted by certain foods that they eat that they normally would eat that are considered healthy. Okay. And it also increases your body's ability to release weight. Okay. Release the unnecessary fat in your body. Okay. So, spell it for me again. I don't know which was it. Let me know which you wanted me to spell. Um, Favorite gut health treats. Okay. So what are we talking about as far as treats? Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, black cherries. Very healthy for your gut. Very healthy for your gut. Okay. Um, there are also benefits of pineapple, having pineapple. It's acidic, so it's going to um, increase the acid in the gut, which actually does help to neutralize the the gut bacteria. It helps to neutralize the acids, the gastrointestinal acid in your stomachs. So it really depends on what you're talking about as far as treats. Pickles, maybe, right? Anything that does have the, oh, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to think of like treats, but dark chocolate is a huge one for me. I think I posted before about Lily's chocolate, and this is not an endorsement by any means, but Lily's has a 50% cacao product that I do recommend because it's not as bitter. They recommend 70% cacao, but honestly, 70% cacao, unless you really like that burnt taste, and to each his own, but that's not me. I can't with it. I need it to taste a little bit close to just regular chocolate, right? But this is the thing, their chocolate has fiber, natural occurring fiber from the cacao. Okay. And it's sweetened with erythritol, which I'm a huge proponent of as well, because it is derived from fruits and vegetables. And even though it's classified as a sugar alcohol, it it actually 90% of that sugar alcohol bypasses the gut. So you only actually digest 10%, which allows for your body to just digest it with zero upset in your stomach. Whereas some people might be adverse to some other sugar alcohols because it disrupts their gut. That's the reason why I really like it. So Lily's chocolate, 40% cacao, a number of flavors and different varieties that you can have as a treat. It's not supposed to be your meal by any means. You know, you don't want to keep killing tons of chocolate, but it's one of the healthiest forms of chocolate that you can actually get on the market right now. Um, yes, I'll post it. It's Biome, and I will post that test name here just a minute. Okay, and then what do you think about steel cut oatmeal? I love that with berries, and some say to stay away from grains. Really, to each his own. If you know that you need to stay away from grains because your body begins to react negatively, like you're having gut upset or bloating after you have it and things like that, you definitely want to stay away from it. However, I'm a huge proponent of oats, grains, unadulterated, right? The problem with things that are more refined is that the nutrients get stripped away from it. That's what refined even means. Nutrients get taken away. You need all of those nutrients. Your body needs all of those things, right? So you want to stay away from anything that's super refined. You want it to be organic steel cut oats. And I recommend doing that. Now, if you have any issues with your glycemic index, so your glucose levels, I'll say it like that. So if you're having a spike in your glucose, chances are it's going to spike your insulin, which has a negative impact as well. That could be an issue. But here's what you do. Instead of having oatmeal hot, try overnight oats. So I love it that way as well, Candace. So have your oats cold, overnight oats. So you just add some whatever your preferred nut milk is, or if you're allergic to nuts, like a cashew milk, or because a lot of people don't realize that cashews are actually legumes. They're not actually a nut. So figure out it could even be oat milk or whatever the case might be, and put that in there. I would put some erythritol or whatever your preferred sweetener is, that's not sugar and it's not aspartame. With the berries, add a couple of nuts in there, put that in there overnight, in the refrigerator overnight, and boom, you got overnight oats. That is actually going to make it a resistant starch, whereas you might have, when it's hot, a higher glycemic impact, but you have very little glycemic impact when it's cold. Same thing with rice. Eating rice cold decreases the amount of starch in that food. Bananas. If you eat bananas, try to eat them green. If you don't like green bananas, they have a green banana powder that you can purchase. So there's ways around this thing, but man, I could be here all day, and I'm not going to do this to you, but I'll probably be on here just another 15 minutes if y'all have more questions. But Stay with the steel cut oatmeal. It's very, very healthy for a majority of people. I'm not going to generalize it and say all, because you have to figure out what works well for you. But I recommend listening to your body to see if you have any negative impact to eating those foods. That's the only way to truly tell what's going to work for you. It's all individualized. Yes, good. Yeah, if they don't bother you, and also think about your labs. If you have increases of in your glycemic, index, or for the most part, you get a hemoglobin A1C or a version of that when you get a basic blood panel. So you may not have issues with your blood sugar right now. If you notice an increase, make sure to let your doctor know. Well, I eat steel cut oats, so that could be it. If that's a contributing factor to the increase, then of course you would not want to continue to have that. Yes, you're welcome, my love. You are welcome. Um, Definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna try every week around about this time to, add some value and begin to help you guys to figure out what's going on in your body, or at least leading you in the right direction. I don't have all the answers, right? I know a little something about a little something, but I definitely don't know everything. Um, the additional thing here is, think about the fact that a majority of people don't know how to increase their nutrient density without, really breaking the bank, trying to get all of these groceries or trying to figure out how to cook, what to cook. Okay, I get that. So for that reason, I do recommend Juice Plus. Okay. I've mentioned this before. I'm sure y'all are probably sick of me posting about it, and that's fine. You can log off. I'm fine with that. But guess what? It's probably the one of the best products that you could ever get. Why? Because it's unadulterated. It is plant powder. Okay. Plant powder placed in a capsule, fruits, vegetables, and berries. You get over 50 varieties. Remember, I was talking about nutrient density and not nutrient density specifically, but nutrient diversity, right? The colors, eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow, not Skittles, but eat the rainbow when it comes to your fruits and veggies, guys. Juice Plus allows for you to do that easily. It is not an alternative to eating well, but it does bridge that gap, and it puts some really good nutrients in your body in a capsule. Organically grown fruits and vegetables placed in a capsule, or you can get it in a chewable, which is delicious, by the way. I have both. So good. But what that's going to do is it's going to allow for your body to actually get all of those nutrients, phytochemicals, all of the things in your body without you having to exhaust yourself trying to figure out how to get it through your everyday. There's only so many vegetables you can eat in a day, and only so many fruits you can eat in a day. I mean, come on, right? It's very, very difficult. I'll also post a link for that if you would like. But it is something that I live by now. And they also have because I cannot digest whey protein or whey isolate. I've had an aversion to it for a long time, but I never nailed down what it was until I really started listening to my body and the gas, the bloating, all of the things. But now that I know what I didn't know, I stopped taking it. It was causing my body to almost reject it. Okay, so because of that, I started taking Juice Plus Complete protein, which is a vegan protein made from soy protein, and it is delicious. Let me tell you, no chalkiness. I drink it. I drink it quite a bit, and I generally say and recommend to my clients that they get their protein from whole food sources first. I would not lean on or depend on getting your protein from an exogenous external source. Try to get it as much as possible from the whole food sources. Beans are huge on that, right? Beans. Um, and nuts. And I mean, there's a lentils. Ooh, lentils. Jicama. There's a lot of actual, not necessarily protein, but there's a lot of fiber in jicama, by the way. That's kind of why I brought that up. But anyway, long story short, Juice Plus has changed my life. It's changed my family's life. It continues to change the lives of those who actually utilize it as an investment into their health and not see it as an expense. When you see it as an expense, you miss the point. You completely miss the point. But this is some good stuff. I'm also helping a couple of people who are trying to get pregnant. And I've had several success stories that I've been privy to around taking Juice Plus to increase their fertility. Okay. So things like that. So anyway, long story short, when it comes to coaching, okay, when it comes to coaching with me, the awesome part is I now include the gut microbiome testing. I include 4 months of Juice Plus. Okay, so you get your 12 weeks plus another month to be able to take that. Every client that I put on that absolutely loves it and feels amazing with it. You get your nutrients, your nutrition plan that's customized for you, your fitness plan that's also customized for you. Okay. But what that looks like is once I get your plan together that's just for you, it's not a cookie cutter plan to where I say, hey, just do this. It's not about that. We have to investigate. So that I break it down into 3 phases. The first phase is our investigation phase and discovery phase. I'm trying to figure out what's working well for you, what's not working well for you, so that we can figure out what the baseline is for you. And then we change from there. I can't know what's going on with you unless I know what's going on with you, if you feel me. So I have a way to track that. We have a document that's a living, breathing document. Every time you update it, you see those updates. I update it, you see those updates. It has your meal plan. It has links to your workouts. Everything is all embedded into this one document just for you. And then we talk once every week. We have a one-on-one conversation via Zoom, and we talk about some of my observations, your concerns, and I give you the education that you need so that you can continue this journey. And it's not something where you think you need me. You shouldn't need me or a nutritionist or a fitness expert for a long period of time. Okay. You shouldn't always have someone coaching you. You want to learn what you need to know, make it a part of your lifestyle, and then continue that journey on and share that the wealth of health with your family, right? It's something that it is an investment. By all means, it is an investment. But you continue on that journey and keep you for a lifetime. That's my goal, is to give you value that's going to last a lifetime. You shouldn't need me forever. Okay. Or anybody for that matter. But we talk about so many other things. One of those things that's huge is mindset. We start really there. Yes, during that discovery phase, we're figuring out on the food side what's going on and on your fitness routine. But I want to know what's going on in your mind. And once we recondition your mind to think differently about food, to begin to respect food in a different way, and to really taper back from all of the different processed and manufactured foods and sugar, and really figuring out how to navigate that, the tips, tools, techniques, tactics, and strategies. I got it all embedded in this program. That's why it is top notch. So if you saw me before and you maybe had a discovery call, it's even more robust than when I started. And it's going to continue to do that because I keep making little adjustments so that it becomes as beneficial to my clients as possible. Okay. Just know that I'm here 100% to help, to add value, to increase the vibration, to light you up, to get you all generated on the inside and revved up so that you can live your best life. There's a lot of unhappy, unsatisfied, disgusted people in the world. And guess what? If I can do anything to contribute to mitigating that, that's what I'm here for, 100%. 100%. That's what I'm here for. Okay. I wish I had somebody like me in my life when I was growing up, but I didn't. So that's why I'm so super passionate about it, because I know what I do works. Okay. I know what I do works. Okay. My one of my current clients is in her phase 2, about 6 weeks in. So half of phase 2. And she's down 20 pounds because she was compliant. She was 100% compliant. And I don't often have that level of compliance, with everyone. But to be only 6 weeks in and to already have lost that much weight, I mean, it speaks for itself. But it starts with the mindset. I'm talking about a holistic approach. It's not just here, do this workout, here, eat this food. It's so much more than that. So that's what my 12-week coaching is all about. Again, it includes your gut microbiome testing now, because you need to know that. I think we all need to know that. Your Juice Plus you're also getting omegas with that. So a majority of individuals don't get a whole lot of omega-3s, omega-6s. There's a blend of a multitude of omegas in this blend. And it's not from the fish, it's actually from algae itself, the source, which is why fish even have it, because they're consuming algae, right? So we get it from the source, and you get your complete protein shakes so that you can bridge that gap in your nutrition. Okay. And then you get your meal plan, you get your fitness plan, and you get your one-on-one discussions with me once every week or every other week, depending on your situation. So, and that's it, guys. So, all right, 5 minutes to spare. I didn't want to be on here longer than an hour. So, do you guys have any more questions? I don't think that you do. I think that you guys got what you needed to get. But really quick, just let me know if this was helpful or valuable for you. Put hashtag LitFit in the comments. I do ask that you share if you're on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are on Facebook, definitely just share it. Share it on your page. You never know who you might be able to help. At the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about? Right? It's not about me. It's just about helping raise the vibration of the people around us. So do that. Is there anything else? Thank you, Candace. Yes. Hashtag LitFit, baby. All right. So I'm super happy to know that this is helpful for some of you guys. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day. Keep it lit. Always keep it lit. Remember, let nobody blow out your flame. And remember to light somebody else's flame along the way. How about that? All right. Y'all take care. Thank you guys so much.